This familiar bird descends down trees head first, searching for seeds and insects. And the complex phylogeny of this group may suggest multiple colonization events across multiple oceans. This is Sitta carolinensis, the white-breasted nuthatch. This small bird commonly visits feeders in the winter and is incredibly easy to identify. They have a white breast and underparts, with a bit of rusty orange accent on their undersides, and a bluish-gray back. They have an elongated, slightly curved beak, perfect for probing and cracking seeds. And being passerines, all nuthatches have anisodactyl feet, with 3 forward toes and 1 backward, the ancestral trait of all birds. There are 3 nuthatches that overlap in range with the white-breasted nuthatch, but plumage differences make them easy to separate. The main field mark is even in the name. White-breasted nuthatches have a white breast. Red-breasted nuthatches have a reddish-orange breast, while pygmy nuthatches and brown-headed nuthatches have brownish. While another similar bird, the black and white warbler, has a similar foraging style. These are black and white patterned, and lack the blue-gray back the white-breasted nuthatch has. So identifying this species is quite easy. That name, though, nuthatch, what does it exactly mean? Well, it originates in Europe, and is due to the winter feeding technique of these birds. Come winter, nuthatches consume large quantities of seeds, but they can't eat the shells. So these birds gather seeds and carry them in their beak to a tree, where they wedge the seed in a piece of bark, then peck it to crack or hatch the shell, exposing the fleshy inner bits that they can eat. This behavior is also observed in the white-breasted nuthatches, while they rely on seeds as their main food source during the autumn and winter, before pivoting back to arthropods such as insects come spring, both of which they gather by probing and chipping away at bark while clinging head down on a tree. White-breasted nuthatches will also store seeds under bark to access them in order to keep these birds alive during the frigid winter months, as these small active endotherms require lots of energy to keep their body at safe temperatures. White-breasted nuthatches are widespread across North America, ranging throughout Canada and the United States, as seen on this map. These birds are common visitors to bird feeders throughout the winter months, so if you are in their range and want to attract them, put some black oil sunflower seeds or similar seeds out, as these are some of their favorites. After feeding them a while, they may recognize you as a food source, and may even eat straight out of your hand, like these ones that trusted me enough. These are some of my favorite feeder birds, as they're inquisitive little creatures that are always enjoyable to watch. As I mentioned earlier, nuthatches have complex and intriguing relationships. Nuthatches are passerines, belonging to the neoaves, and falling within the order of passeriforms, which contains over 60% of all bird species, within which they belong to the superfamily Cercoidea, along with the wrens, gnatcatchers, and tree creepers, with them being sister to that whole group, as seen here. The family Sitta contains all the nuthatches, and is moderately sized with 29 species, spread throughout both the Old and New World, but mostly restricted to the Northern Hemisphere, within which there is a single genus, Sitta. However, the wall creeper of the genus Tychodroma is sometimes included as well. The intragenus relationships within Sitta are muddy and complex. For instance, Sitta carolinensis, the white-breasted nuthatch, was phylogenetically determined to be sister to Sitta magna, the giant nuthatch of Southeast Asia, suggesting that the white-breasted nuthatch colonized the New World separately from the other American nuthatches. This pattern repeats with the red-breasted nuthatch, which is sister to the Chinese and Corsica nuthatches, though the other 2 North American species are sister to each other. This suggests that at least 3 separate trans-Pacific, or transatlantic, colonization events occurred. And while birds getting lost isn't incredibly rare, these species generally have short to no migrations. Though we must remember these colonization events occurred over 1 million years ago, when the world was much warmer, so migrations probably occurred over the much shorter distances in the Arctic. White-breasted nuthatches are monogamous, with pair formations beginning in the winter when males call to attract a mate, using multiple calls to communicate, all being roughly yank, 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 yank. For example, pair bonds are maintained year-round, and only end when one of the pair disappears due to predation or some other reason. During the winter, pairs may join a mixed flock of chickadees and titmice, as they feed on similar foods. Within these mixed flocks, white-breasted nuthatches are known as satellite species, such that they follow the more vocal and flock-forming species, such as chickadees, which are known as nuclear species. Generally, a pair of nuthatches will maintain a territory and tend to stay within this area, which is preferentially 10 to 20 hectares. That's roughly 0.1 to 0.2 square kilometers. Though in cramped cities, this may be reduced within parks. White-breasted nuthatches are cavity nesters, choosing to construct their nests in old woodpecker cavities, natural holes in trees, and even sometimes birdhouses. Pairs will sometimes enlarge existing holes, but don't excavate their own. The nest itself is constructed solely by the female, and is generally a cup made of bark shreds, grass, and roots, then lined with fur, hair, and feathers, within which she lays roughly 6 small, creamy white eggs. The female is also the sole incubator of the clutch, with the male entering only to bring her food. Incubation lasts roughly 12 days, and upon hatching, both parents work tirelessly to feed and care for the nestlings, until they fledge and leave the nest roughly 26 days later. Fledglings generally stay with their parents for a few weeks until dispersing to find their own territories and mates. White-breasted nuthatches are primarily preyed upon by small hawks, falcons, and owls, as well as house cats, while house wrens and the like will destroy nests, eggs, and young. As I mentioned earlier, nuthatches are passerines, a group that diverged from the other neoaves during the Eocene, roughly 52 million years ago, while Cercoidea split off during the Miocene, with Sittidae and the nuthatches of the genus Sitta diverging shortly after. The white-breasted nuthatch is estimated to have split from its closest relative, the giant nuthatch, roughly 3 to 4 million years ago, as it crossed the Atlantic Ocean into North America. There are 4 main distinct populations of white-breasted nuthatch in North America: the Pacific, Eastern, and 2 in the Western Rockies and Central North America. A phylogenetic study of these populations by Garth Spellman and John Klicka in 2007, which I'll link in the description, found the Pacific and Eastern to be closely related, as seen in this phylogenetic tree, with them having diverged from the central populations 1.4 to 3.4 million years ago. For reference, modern humans, Homo sapiens, diverged only 2 to 300,000 years ago, only leaving Africa less than 100,000 years ago. White-breasted nuthatches are one of my favorite winter birds, and are an incredibly interesting species. Until next time on Animal Analysis. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment on what we should analyze next. And maybe check out one of these other videos.